On Friday evening, President Trump announced the commutation of former Congressman George Santos' prison sentence after he pled guilty to charges of wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Now, following his release, George Santos vowed not to disappoint President Trump while adding that he found God in prison. And he says that he wants to dedicate his newfound freedom to working on prison reform. Anyway, former Congressman George Santos joins us with more. We've never spoken before. You may not know this, but at one point you were my congressman. I lived in Oyster Bay.
Oh, Sean, I'm very aware. Center Island, that was where you lived. And thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
To a former constituent. So, and again, I owe you an apology, Sean. I owe the American people an apology, but most importantly, constituents. And I know you were one of them, and it's a pleasure to be with you tonight.
I appreciate it. Look, I do believe in redemption. I believe in repentance. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. The word for repentance means in Latin to change one's heart. So I have a question that no one has asked you. As part of this commutation, you don't have to pay back anything. You pled guilty in your case. You don't have to pay back anything. There was an amount of restitution for victims of over $373,000. There was another incident where you had repeatedly charged contributions of credit cards without people's authorization, and two donors, transferred money to a liability company. These are things you pled guilty to. Here's my question. Even though you're not compelled with this commutation to pay it back, do you think you should?
Sean, I've put a lot of thought into that, and I've spoken to my legal team, and I think that the right thing to do is to explore a way to make it right. Part of actually squaring away with everything that's happened in my life is to start fresh, and starting fresh, if it means we find a way to do it, sure. I just want to make sure that the record reflects, Sean, not obfuscating or deflecting, is that 85% of that sum would have gone to the National Republican Congressional Committee, which in the Merrick Garland administration at the DOJ, they determined that I was to pay back restitution to the Republican Party Congressional Committee campaign because they believe that they donated to my campaign and invested in my campaign, under false pretenses, even though that the merits of that was to win a race, and I did. So I understand the question. And again, it's been 4 days. We have a lot to process, and I'll look into the best I can, best efforts. And like I said, it's about doing what's right. It's about moving forward. It's about changing the ending of my life because I can't go back and change the beginning. But President Trump gave me an opportunity to change the end. And with that, I want to do prison reform. I want to help troubled youth.
I can tell you that there is a mixed review, mixed bag opinion. Even big supporters of President Trump did not like that he commuted your sentences, and they were very vocal to me this weekend. But let's go to one example. You charge money without people's knowledge directly to their credit card and spent it on for your own personal gain. In other cases, you talked about, well, the money is actually, the Republican committee, blah, blah. That's all technically true, but ultimately all that money came from people. So that money that you pled guilty to came from people. And I would think, I don't know, if you're really serious about this God thing, I think you gotta go there. To me, I think that would be the important first step. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to make all that money. I know you're back doing greetings online and so on and so forth, and I hope you're successful. And I hope you're successful in all your business. But, I think I hear too much obfuscation in your voice. Am I wrong?
No, it's not obfuscation. Like I said, it's been 4 days, Sean. This question was posed to me at the time of release. I'm just going to say this very honestly. I didn't even know the conditions of my commutation. I didn't even know I was getting commuted until I saw it on the chyrons of the TVs in the cafeteria over at FCI Ferriton. So to answer your question, it's something that I've definitely started putting thought into after it was posed to me. Again, I will definitely explore those avenues. You're not wrong. It is the right thing to do, and it's definitely the godly thing to do. And I will do the best I can and in my best efforts to find a way to do it. And again, not at all running away from my responsibility, culpability, and looking forward to prove that, not just to President Trump, but to the American people, because at the end of the day, the only road to redemption will be if I show and my actions show that I really am turning a leaf. And I understand that there are going to be critics, and I understand that there are going to be people who are going to doubt that, and they have every right to do so. I've caused a lot of people hurt. I've caused a lot of people trauma. Cause a lot of people pain. I don't hold it against them to be angry at me, to criticize me, because that is my own doing, Sean. And part of actually repenting is accepting that you did this to yourself. And that's why I'm moving forward. And moving forward, I'll do the best I can to make what's right and make those right decisions.
You said the right and godly thing to do. I think that would then therefore make that answer is you should be compelled to do it in your heart. Forget about what the government says. Last question. What was life in prison like for you? How were you treated there?
Well, look, I was put in solitary confinement in the special housing unit by the warden there under very dubious pretenses, even though there was an investigation for an attempted assassination plot of somebody allegedly saying they were going to break into prison to kill me. I've heard a lot of people breaking out of prison, not breaking into. She took that opportunity to go in there and extend and make it extenuatingly uncomfortable for 41 days. Almost half of the days that I was in prison, I was treated in a unhumane manner and capacity. Now, Sean, the reason I want to do prison reform, the reason I want to help troubled youth is I have the privilege of having relationships with people who were able to help me come home to my family and start fresh. There are approximately 250,000 Americans in prison, in federal custody today that don't have that same privilege. I want to be a voice to make sure that they are given proper rehabilitation, that they are given proper rights, and that they're treated humanely so that they can be integrated back into society. That's the mission I'm going to seek out for.
Okay. I hope you live up to your promise that you won't let the president down, yourself down, and the people will get restitution in spite of it not being mandated. George Santos, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.